I only need you for the image. It's not personal, my girlfriend said, laughing. I replied, then the image is gone. She accused me of being controlling. Her friends encouraged it. By the weekend, her hidden plans and alibi stories spilled out for everyone, including her family, to see. Hey, Reddit! My girlfriend treated me like a backup plan and her friends called me the perfect cover. So I said, nope, not doing this, and rebuilt my life somewhere else. But of course, they weren't done. Before we get into the chaos, let me start at the beginning. My name's Grant, I'm 32, and I make a living finding patterns other people miss. Forensic accounting, fraud, embezzlement, creative bookkeeping. Companies call me when money disappears. Law firms call me when things get messy. 90,000 a year, Portland-based, set my own hours. Quiet job, quiet life. 3 years ago, I met Natalie at a friend's birthday downtown. 27, brand strategist, blonde hair, sharp features, a laugh that took over any room. We talked over cheap wine and worse karaoke. By the end of the night, we'd exchanged numbers. 6 months later, we moved into a two-bedroom in the Pearl District. Exposed brick, high ceilings, $2,400 a month. Character, she called it. The first 2 years were good. Cannon beach trips, a week in Puerto Vallarta, Tuesday pasta nights, Sunday takeout. She had Becca, Madison, and Jess. I had Kyle and Jim friends. We had our own friends. Worked fine. Then around year 2.5, things changed. Late nights with no explanation. Phone always angled away. Vague answers. Same recycled excuses. Then came the first real flag. Her agency holiday party in December. She told me it was colleagues only. No partners. At 10 p.m., she posted a story full of significant others. I texted her asking why she'd said I couldn't come. She called immediately. Said I was being paranoid. That she didn't realize people brought dates. Asked if I wanted to come, if it meant that much. Tone sharp enough to make me feel crazy for even asking. A week later, I calmly tried again. She jumped straight to defense. Why are you still on this? Do you not trust me? I dropped it. But I filed it away. Patterns are what I do. Then her social media stopped matching her stories. Mid-February, she claimed she was having a quiet night comforting Becca. At 11 p.m., she appeared on someone's story in a green dress I'd never seen, laughing at a downtown bar. Screenshot. Filed. Then the post that made it obvious. Madison's carousel. Natalie and her friends at a club, all dressed up. Caption. No commitments, just vibes. Derek, a mutual friend, commented, "Where's Grant?" Madison replied with a laughing emoji. "He's chill, lol." Natalie saw it. Saw the comment, the reply, the tone. Did nothing. Just kept scrolling. By March, she barely looked at me. Evenings, she'd text someone else, smiling at her phone. Never smiled at me like that anymore. Anytime I suggested plans, she was suddenly too tired or too busy. Then came the family dinner, the night everything snapped into place. Her parents invited us over the first Sunday of March to celebrate her promotion. Her mom opened the door wearing a world's best mom apron, ushered me in like I was a guest at a holiday dinner. The table was set like Thanksgiving. Her dad sat at the head, beer in hand, watching highlights. Her younger brother Jason hovered awkwardly, clearly wishing he were anywhere else. Her mom brought out a massive roast and served Natalie first. Biggest cut, biggest praise. "So Natalie," she said, practically glowing, "tell us everything about the promotion." Natalie lit up. "I'm leading the entire brand strategy division now. 15 people reporting to me. Full control of major accounts." Her dad raised his glass. "That's my girl. The Alexander Drive. Always knew you'd rise above everyone else." Her mom teared up. "We're so proud. You deserve all of it." 5 minutes passed before anyone acknowledged I existed. Finally, her dad turned to me. "You're still doing the accounting thing?" "Forensic accounting," I said. "Just closed a case. Found $2 million in misappropriated funds." He nodded once, uninterested. "Nice. Stability's important." Her mom chimed in immediately, like she'd been waiting. "A serious man provides stability. That's what matters. Natalie needs someone steady while she focuses on her career." I glanced at Natalie. She said nothing. Didn't defend me. Didn't deflect. Didn't register my discomfort. Jason shifted. Shot me a quick, sympathetic look. Dinner continued as the Natalie show. Every conversation circled back to her. Anything I said got 5 seconds of polite nodding before they went back to talking about her. When Natalie went to the bathroom, I overheard her mother and Becca in the kitchen. "He needs to understand his role," her mom whispered. Becca laughed. "Don't worry. Grant's housebroken." Natalie returned moments later, oblivious. As we were leaving, her mom pulled me aside. "Natalie's special. She needs someone who doesn't ask too many questions. Someone who knows how to support her. Can you do that?" "I got it," I said. "Good. A woman like Natalie has options. Don't forget that." In the car home, Natalie texted the entire drive, laughing, smiling, typing fast. never once looked up. When we got home, she went straight into the bedroom to take a call. I heard Becca through the door. So? Did your mom lay it on thick? Natalie laughed. So thick. But Grant just sat there like always. He never reacts to anything. In the car ride home, I said nothing. Natalie texted the entire way back, smiling at her phone, laughing at something, typing fast. Never looked up once. When we got home, she went straight to the bedroom to take a call. I heard Becca's voice through the door. How'd it go? Natalie laughed. So thick, but Grant just sat there like always. 2 weeks after that dinner, her company hosted this networking mixer at some fancy place downtown. Natalie asked me to come, said it would really mean a lot to her. She'd been distant all week, barely speaking to me, but suddenly she needed me there. I went. The venue was packed with her colleagues, clients, agency people. The moment we walked through the door, Natalie transformed completely, hand on my arm, laughing at my jokes, introducing me as her partner with this warm smile. Looked real if you didn't know better. But the second we were alone, she'd go ice cold. Back on her phone, eyes scanning the room for someone more important. Then someone would approach us, and the performance started up again. I watched this happen 3 times in the first hour. This older woman, maybe 50s, executive looking, walked up to Natalie holding a wine glass. Natalie, I wanted to tell you how impressed I was with your pitch last week. Really creative approach. Thank you so much, Natalie said, instantly warm. The woman looked at me, then back at Natalie. And you're so grounded for someone in such a demanding role. I love that you have a stable partner supporting your career. That's rare in our industry. Natalie squeezed my arm, laughed this perfect practiced laugh. We're really lucky to have each other. Grant's been so supportive of everything I'm building. He doesn't need constant attention or validation. We've found this great balance. The second the woman walked away, maybe 3 steps, Natalie dropped my arm like she'd been holding something unpleasant and pulled out her phone. Don't say anything weird, she said flatly, not even looking at me. I need these people to see me a certain way. You understand that, right? I thought to myself, I'm a credential, not a boyfriend. I'm proof she's stable. We left early. I said I wasn't feeling well. In the car, she didn't ask if I was okay, just went straight back to her phone. Her friends started showing up more after that. They'd show up at the apartment unannounced, multiple times a week. Becca, Madison, and Jess. Becca was the ringleader. Mid-30s, divorced 2 years ago, made hating men her entire personality. You still here, Grant? Thought you'd be at work. She'd coach Natalie during phone calls I could hear. Don't apologize to him first. He's the one being unreasonable. Madison was the image manager, obsessed with how things looked on social media. She'd post constantly, tag Natalie in everything, living our best lives. No commitments, just vibes. I was nowhere in that story. Jess was pure chaos. Loud, messy, always stirring drama. One night in late March, I came home around 8 to find all 3 of them in our apartment. Wine bottles everywhere, music playing loud. Evening, I said. Becca barely looked up. We're having girls' night. You should probably go hang out somewhere else. This is my apartment. I pay half the rent. Natalie's on the couch, phone in hand. Said absolutely nothing. I walked toward the kitchen when Madison snatched my keys off the counter. Oops, she said, dangling them. These yours? Yeah. Can I have them back? She tossed them across the room to Jess. Jess caught them, laughing. What's the magic word, Grant? The keys, I said. Natalie, your boyfriend's being uptight, Madison said. Natalie glanced up for half a second. You guys, come on. Jess tossed the keys back. They hit the floor at my feet. I picked them up, looked at Natalie. She was back on her phone. I grabbed my beer, went to the bedroom. Through the wall, I heard Jess. He's so whipped, it's embarrassing. Around 10, I came out for water. They were huddled around Natalie's phone. I caught Madison mid-sentence. Just keep him comfortable until you figure out what you actually want. You don't owe him clarity if you're not sure yet. She stopped when she saw me. I filled my glass, looked at Natalie, who wouldn't make eye contact, and went back to the bedroom. The test came in early April. I was working from home when my phone buzzed. Instagram notification. Jess had posted a story. I opened it, then stopped. Natalie and some guy I didn't recognize. He had his arm around her waist. They were at some bar, both holding drinks, both laughing. She was wearing this black dress I'd never seen. Caption, love to see her happy again. I took a screenshot, checked the timestamp, posted about 15 minutes ago. I refreshed the app. The story was gone, deleted. My phone rang within 30 seconds. Natalie. Hey, she said. Her voice sounded rehearsed. Hey. So, Jess accidentally posted something really stupid. Old photo from like a month ago with her cousin visiting from Seattle. She didn't realize how it looked. It's already deleted. Got it. Wrong person. Right message. Silence. What? You heard me. Grant, are you upset about this? Should I be? Most boyfriends would at least ask questions. You're just nothing. You said it was her cousin from a month ago. You've explained it. What's there to ask? She sounded frustrated now. Fine, whatever. I have to go. She hung up. That night, she came home around 8. Walked straight past me, went to the bedroom, closed the door. I heard her on the phone. He didn't react at all, she said. Like nothing happened. Becca's voice came through, tinny on speaker. That means he's either given up or he's not invested enough to care. Maybe both, Natalie said. I thought he'd at least ask about it. I wanted to see what he'd do. Becca laughed. At least now you know he'll tolerate anything. 2 weeks later, in late April, things escalated. I had this massive deposition scheduled for Friday morning. Fraud case involving a CFO who'd been embezzling. Worth 75 grand in fees if it went to trial. I needed to be sharp. Thursday evening around 6, Natalie texted me. Client emergency. Meeting ran way over. Probably won't be home until really late. Same excuse. Thursday night client emergency. 4th week in a row. Cool, I texted back. 2 hours later, sitting on the couch reviewing my deposition notes for the 100th time, my phone buzzed. Text from Natalie, except it wasn't meant for me. Just got out of the shower, wearing that black thing you like. Where do you want me to meet you? Read it once. Read it again. Something clicked. Then another text came through immediately. Oh my God, ignore that. Wrong person. Another one right after, coming in fast. That was for Madison about an outfit for tonight. She's helping me pick what to wear to the client meeting. We're meeting for drinks after to decompress from the day. I set my phone down on the coffee table face up. Stared at it. Went back to my case files. My phone kept buzzing on the table, lighting up with her name over and over. I ignored every single one. 10 minutes later, she called. I let it ring through, watched her name disappear. Called again immediately. I declined it. Then the texts started flooding in. Grant, seriously, it was a mistake. I'm not cheating on you if that's what you're thinking. You're being ridiculous right now. Answer your phone. This is exactly why I can't talk to you about anything. I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb. Kept working. Found 3 more red flags in the CFO's expense reports. She came home around midnight. I was still on the couch, case files covering every surface, laptop still open. She dropped her purse on the counter with a loud thud, kicked off her heels, hit the hardwood floor. We need to talk, she said, standing in the doorway with her arms crossed. Okay. That text was literally for Madison. Literally. We're going shopping this weekend and she asked me to send her a photo of this dress I have so she can help me decide what shoes to wear with it. That's it. That's the entire story. Sure. Sure? That's all you're going to say? What do you want me to say? I want you to stop being weird about this. People text the wrong person all the time. It happens. It's not a federal case. Okay. She stared at me. Her face was flushed, makeup smudged and running slightly, hair messy in a way that didn't match a late client meeting. She smelled like smoke and alcohol and cologne that definitely wasn't mine. Why are you acting like this? Like what? Like you don't care. I looked at her. Do you want me to care? That question threw her off. She blinked. What kind of question is that? A straightforward one. Of course I want you to care, Grant. We're in a relationship. Are we? She stiffened. What's that supposed to mean? I set my phone on the arm of the couch. You tell me you're working late. I see you day drinking on social media. You say your phone died, but I see texts you sent during that time. You tell me you're at Becca's having a quiet dinner. I see you at a bar across town. You accidentally text me something that's clearly meant for someone else. Then you tell me I'm crazy for noticing patterns. So I'm asking, do you actually want me to care about what you're doing? Or do you want me to stop paying attention so you can do whatever you're doing without inconvenient questions? Her face went cold. You're tracking me. That's psycho behavior. No, I'm just finally listening to what you're actually saying instead of what you're telling me to believe. This is controlling. I stood up, started gathering my case files. I have court in the morning. Need to sleep. We're not done talking about this? I think we are. She followed me to the bedroom. You don't get to just walk away. I turned around. You stay out until 2 a.m. You won't tell me where you are. You get defensive when I ask basic questions. Your friends openly disrespect me in my own home. You text something that's clearly not meant for Madison, then call me crazy for noticing. I'm not tracking you. I'm watching you check out of this relationship in real time. I'm not checked out. I'm just not reporting my every movement to you like you're my father. We stood there facing each other, her arms crossed, pure contempt on her face. Even if I stay out all night, I'm not obligated to explain where I am. Okay, then neither am I. She looked like she wanted to argue, then shrugged. Fine. The bathroom door slammed. Shower turned on. I sat on the edge of the bed until sunrise. The deposition went fine. By noon, I was back in my car, exhausted, running on zero sleep. I sat there for 20 minutes just thinking. That's what I do for a living. Find patterns other people miss. Natalie's behavior was a pattern. The late nights weren't random, they were scheduled. Every Thursday, every other Friday, specific Saturdays. She was recycling the same excuses. I pulled out my phone, opened LinkedIn, found the message I'd been ignoring for 2 months. Dublin, Ireland, forensic accounting position, 20% pay bump to 110,000. Full relocation package, visa sponsorship. I sent an email. Still very interested in the Dublin position. Response came in 3 hours. Can you do a video call Monday morning? Monday came. The video call went well. 3 partners asked about my experience. I walked them through 3 major cases I'd closed, made me an offer on the spot. 110,000 base. Full benefits. Housing stipend. Relocation expenses covered. Start date June 15th. 6 weeks away. I accepted. Didn't tell Natalie. Went through the motions. We became roommates who barely talked. Then came the group chat leak that confirmed everything. I was at the gym with Kyle one afternoon, running on treadmills side by side, when my phone buzzed in the cup holder. Text from Jake, this mutual friend from college who worked in tech. Hey man, you might want to see this. Attached was a screenshot. Group chat with Natalie, Becca, Madison, and Jess. Timestamp from earlier that morning. Becca. Has he said anything about the test? Natalie. No, didn't react at all. Like it never happened. Madison. Good. Means he's comfortable. That's what you want right now. Stability while you figure things out. Jess. Or he's checked out LOL. Natalie. Either way it works. I'm keeping him stable until I figure out what I actually want. No point blowing up something steady when I'm not sure yet. Becca. Smart. Don't give up stability for uncertainty. Madison. And seriously, don't post him anywhere. Keep your options looking open. Natalie. Trust me, I know the game. I stopped running completely. Stared at the screenshot, read it twice, then a third time. Another text from Jake. There's more. Hold on. Second screenshot appeared. Same chat, different timestamp from 2 days earlier. Jess. If he gets annoying or starts asking too many questions, just call it controlling. Works every time. Becca. And keep all the receipts vague. He can't prove anything if you don't give him specific details to check. Madison. Post the cousin story again if he starts acting up. Keeps him off balance and questioning what he saw. Natalie. You guys are evil, LMAO. Jess. We're strategic. There's a difference. I felt something cold and final. Not anger, just clarity. Kyle looked over from his treadmill, saw my face. What's wrong? I handed him my phone without saying anything. He read both screenshots, face getting darker with each line, shaking his head slowly. Jake's next text came through. Jess was bragging about this whole coaching operation to her friend Jake. Yeah, same first name as me. That's why this happened. She was showing him how they're strategically managing Natalie's relationship. Sent these screenshots to him to prove how good their advice is. But she sent them to me by mistake because we both show up as Jake in her contacts. She deleted them like 10 seconds later, but I already screenshot everything. Thought you should know what you're actually dealing with here. I sent back, thanks man. Really appreciate you looking out. Don't get dragged into any drama from this. Jake replied, you got it. Good luck with whatever you decide to do. This is some next level manipulation. That night, I texted Natalie, hey, just checking in. How's your day going? She replied 5 minutes later. Good. Busy with clients. Why? Just wondering. Talk tonight? Sure. Love you. I stared at that last line, wondered when it had become just words. That night she came home around 7. She sat down next to me on the couch, closer than she'd been in weeks. You've been quiet today. Everything okay? All good. Just tired from work. You sure? You texted me earlier. That's not like you lately. Just checking in. She studied my face, trying to read me. Okay. Well, if you want to talk about anything, I'm here. Thanks. She waited for me to say more. I didn't. Just went back to my laptop. She got up, went to the bedroom. 5 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Text from her. Are you mad at me about something? No. Are you sure? You're being weird. Just tired. She called. I declined it. I could hear her through the bedroom door. He's being so weird. I can't read him at all. It's like he's shut down. That weekend, I called Kyle. Told him I needed to talk somewhere private. We drove to this dive bar in Southeast Portland. I showed him both screenshots again. He read them slowly, shaking his head. She's keeping you as a backup plan while she explores other options. And her friends are actively coaching her. This is premeditated. I know. So what are you going to do? I told him about Dublin, the job offer, the timeline, the plan to leave in 6 weeks. He nodded slowly. That's perfect. You're not blowing up your life over her drama. You're just taking a better opportunity that happens to get you out of a toxic situation. Clean break. Exactly. I want to disappear the way she's been emotionally checked out for months. No fight, no big blow up, just gone. I started packing that night, careful, organized. Like I was planning a fraud investigation. Small loads during lunch breaks when Natalie was at work. Boxes to Kyle's garage in deep southeast Portland, where she'd never think to look. Sold my Subaru privately through Craigslist. Met the buyer at a Starbucks across town. Took cash payment. Signed over the title right there in the parking lot. Started using Kyle's truck when I needed to move stuff. Opened a new checking account at a different bank entirely. Slowly transferred money out of our joint account into the new one over 2 weeks. 2,500 here. 3,000 there. Small enough amounts spread out enough that Natalie wouldn't notice the pattern when checking the account balance on her phone app. Left her exact half in the joint account completely untouched down to the penny. Canceled my gym membership, told them I was relocating for work. Updated my mailing address on everything important. Amazon, credit cards, subscriptions, voter registration, insurance policies, professional licenses, all of it pointing to Kyle's address temporarily until I could update everything with Dublin information once I landed. Started researching Irish neighborhoods online late at night, cost of living, figuring out logistics, reading expat forums. One afternoon in mid-May, I was carrying a box to Kyle's truck when I heard footsteps. Madison. She stopped when she saw me, looked at the box. Something shifted in her expression. Spring cleaning? She asked. Yeah, spring. She studied me for a second longer. Getting rid of a lot of stuff lately. Just decluttering. She nodded slowly, still looking suspicious. Cool. See you around, Grant. Sure. She got in her car. I watched her pull out her phone before she even started the engine. Didn't matter anymore. I'd be gone in less than 2 weeks. One evening a week later, I was in the bedroom packing when I heard Natalie come home early. I quickly shoved the box into the back of the closet. She dropped her bag and got on the phone. I heard her plop down on the couch. Becca's voice came through clearly on speaker. Ups, keep him comfortable, Becca was saying. He's stable, not going anywhere. He doesn't have the backbone to leave. Natalie laughed. He's definitely not going anywhere. He's like furniture at this point. Madison's voice joined in. Has he brought up that text thing again? No, I think he's given up. He just accepts whatever I tell him now. Good, Becca said. That's exactly where you want him. Comfortable, stable, not making waves. I stood in the bedroom doorway, listening. Then I quietly stepped back, closed the door, and went back to packing. 2 weeks later, everything was ready. Wednesday morning in late May, while Natalie was at her girls' brunch, Kyle and I moved out the last boxes. I walked through the empty apartment one final time. My stuff was gone. Only her things remained. I left my keys on the kitchen counter next to a check for my half of the security deposit. No note, no explanation. Walked out the door, locked it from the outside using her spare key, then slipped it through the mail slot. Drove to Kyle's place, grabbed my suitcases. Boarded a flight to Dublin Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Dublin hit different the moment I stepped off the plane. New accents in every conversation, a rhythm to the city I kept tripping over, euro prices I kept converting wrong in my head. The firm placed me in a short-term rental in Ballsbridge. 1 bedroom, IKEA furniture, quiet, mine. No ghosts, no history. Work hit the ground running. International fraud, shell companies, cross-border asset tracing, cases where one mistake costs millions. My team was sharp. Ronan, my manager, had 20 years in forensic work and 0 interest in micromanaging. You do your job or you don't. Simple. So I worked. Late nights, ugly spreadsheets, cases nobody else wanted. By the end of the first month, I'd closed 2 major investigations. For the first time in a long time, I felt useful instead of used. The morning after I left Portland, the messages started. I was still mid-flight when the first ones came through. Grant, where are you? Your stuff is gone. Did you seriously leave without saying anything? Call me. Now. I didn't answer. Just turned off notification. The next week was a flood. By Friday, she'd called 47 times. I didn't pick up once. Then came the pressure campaign. Voicemails from her mother. Voice shaky with fake worry. Grant, this is Patricia. We're so worried. Please call us back. Her father's was a lecture. You don't abandon someone after 3 years. You owe us a conversation. Becca left a voice note calling me a coward. Madison texted that I needed to explain myself. Jess said I was manipulative and cruel. Blocked. All of them. Kyle kept me updated. Natalie showed up at his place twice. Once with Becca, once with her dad, pounding on his door, demanding answers. Kyle told them the truth he knew. Haven't heard from him. Don't know where he went. Mid-June, Kyle texted again. You need to hear this. He sent a voice note. I listened. Background noise. Hallway. Doors slamming. Someone breathing hard. Then Natalie, hysterical. I just want to know where he went. A woman's voice, firm. Ma'am, you need to leave the building. Kyle. I told you, I don't know where he is. You need to go. Natalie's dad. Son, you're making this harder than it needs to be. Kyle. I'm not your son. Closing the door. Door shuts. Silence. Kyle texted right after. That was 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Building manager had to intervene. They finally left. I replied, thanks for dealing with that. Sorry they dragged you in. By July, the messages stopped. Not a clean stop. More like a car that finally ran out of gas. Dublin slowly became home. Weekends I walked the Liffey, joined a football league through work, ran along the canal every morning before sunrise. The city felt honest, straightforward. Then one afternoon, walking home from the office, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Hey Grant, this is Jason. Got your number from Kyle. Just wanted to say you're not crazy. I saw what was happening with my family and Natalie. The way they talked about you. The way mom treated you. All of it. They treat her like she can do no wrong, and everyone else like support staff. You were right to leave. Don't let them guilt you into thinking otherwise. Good luck in Dublin, man. I stopped walking. It was the first time anyone connected to Natalie had told the truth. Not defended her. Not blamed me. Just truth. I texted back, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. That means a lot. He replied, she's my sister and I love her, but I'm not blind. You deserved better. Take care of yourself. For the first time in months, I felt lighter. And then I met Fiona. Mid-August, my firm hosted a networking event at this bar in Temple Bar. I showed up because Ronan insisted, said it was important for team bonding. I was standing by the buffet table when this woman reached for the same spring roll I was going for at the exact same moment. Go ahead, I said. No, you take it. I've had 3 already anyway, possibly 4. I've lost count. 3? Amateur numbers. She laughed. Actually genuine. You must be American. Only Americans have that kind of confidence about appetizer consumption at work events. Her name was Fiona, 30 years old, project manager at a tech company, red hair, sharp wit that kept me on my toes. We talked for 2 hours straight, completely ignoring the networking event happening around us, just standing by that buffet table. She texted me 2 days later. Want to grab a drink sometime? No spring rolls involved, I promise. We met at a pub in Stoneybatter the following weekend. Talked for 3 hours about everything and nothing. Work, family, why we both ended up in Dublin, favorite films we'd seen lately. Made it a regular thing after that. It was easy with her in ways I'd forgotten relationships could be. When she said she'd call, she actually called. When she ran late, she texted ahead without me having to ask. Running 15 minutes late, traffic's terrible on the Keys. See you soon. She showed up when she said she would, apologized if plans changed, explained what happened, moved on. No drama, no games, no making me feel crazy for expecting basic communication. Month in, we were at her place watching some show when I mentioned I'd been in Portland before Dublin. She paused the show immediately. Can I ask what happened there? Relationship ended badly. Want to talk about it? Not really, not yet anyway. Okay. She hit play on the show again, settled back into the couch. Whenever you're ready, I'm here. No pressure. That was it. No pushing. No making me feel guilty for not opening up immediately. No interrogation disguised as concern. By October, we were serious. Her parents invited me to their house in Howth for Sunday dinner, treated me like I was already part of the family, asked about my work, actually interested, laughed at my stories, made me feel welcome. By November, I was promoted to senior investigator at the firm with a big raise. Fiona and I started looking at flats together on weekends, talking about the future for real. Eventually, I updated my LinkedIn with the Dublin position. Within a week, Kyle texted, "Heads up, Madison found your profile. They're talking about showing up. Let them try." Then my company sent me to San Francisco for a conference. Fiona flew out for the last 3 days. Late November, I took her to this Italian place in North Beach. We were talking about Christmas plans when I saw her. Natalie, near the hostess stand with 2 women. Her eyes landed on me. She looked different, thinner, tired, hair shorter, darker. She walked toward our table. Grant, Natalie, can we talk? Give me a minute, I said to Fiona. Of course. Fiona squeezed my hand. We stepped outside. Cars, cable car bell, fog rolling in. What the hell, Grant? She was already crying. You just left. No explanation. Nothing. You told me you weren't obligated to explain where you were. Figured it worked both ways. That's not fair. Isn't it? Madison showed up. Stood next to Natalie. You ghosted her, Madison said. Disappeared like a coward. You don't get a vote here. I turned back to Natalie. Madison stood there a second, then went inside. I was going through something, Natalie said. Something huge. I didn't know how to talk to you about it. So you stayed out until 2 a.m. and told me you weren't obligated to explain anything? She looked down. I was pregnant. Everything stopped. What? That Thursday night. I'd found out that afternoon. 3 tests at work. I was terrified. What happened? I miscarried. 3 weeks after you left. I was alone. Went to the ER by myself. Tried calling you so many times. Who else did you tell first? Silence. Before you called me. After you miscarried. Who did you tell? Why does that matter? Because you made a choice. You found out you were pregnant and told everyone else first. When it went wrong, you called me as a last resort. That tells me exactly where I ranked. I was scared of being abandoned, of you leaving, of me. My dad left my mom when she got pregnant with Jason. I know the story. You were scared I'd leave, so you pushed me away first. Kept me as backup while exploring other options. But you made choices. You kept me as furniture. I heard you. On speaker. With Becca. She covered her face with her hands. I'm sorry you went through that alone. But you weren't alone because I abandoned you. You were alone because you chose everyone else first. Every single time. Grant, please. I'm done. I walked back inside. Fiona was waiting, calm. We finished dinner. Natalie and her friends had left. On the flight back to Dublin, Fiona asked what happened. I told her everything. She listened without judgment, held my hand. Back in Dublin, I moved forward. Found a flat with Fiona in Ranelagh. Moved in by Christmas. Closed a major investigation. Ronan offered me partner track. 175,000 base. Signed in January. 3 weeks later, Kyle texted. Heads up. Natalie knows for sure you're in Dublin now. Madison's telling people they're planning something. Let them try. 3 weeks went by. Then one Saturday morning in February, my doorbell rang. 7:30 a.m. Natalie. She looked better. Healthier. Hairstyled. Fiona came up behind me. Everything okay? Yeah. I didn't move from the doorway. What are you doing here? I'm in Dublin for work. Wanted to talk. We already talked. That wasn't a real conversation. It was the one you got. Can we talk inside? No. She blinked. Just 5 minutes. Please. Fiona touched my back. I'll make breakfast. You two can talk out here. She went inside. I stepped into the hallway, closed the door. Nice place, Natalie said. What do you want? I've been thinking about everything. What I did wrong. The pregnancy. How I handled things. I'm in therapy now. Moved to Austin. I'm working on myself. Good. I'm glad you're getting help. I wanted you to know you were right. I did keep you as backup. I did tell everyone else first. I did push you away. My therapist says it's called preemptive abandonment. I wanted you to know I understand that now. I held up my hand. Stop. What? I don't need your therapy terms. I don't need you to tell me I was right. I already knew that 2 years ago. I just wanted you to understand. Understand what? That you finally figured out what I knew while I was still living it? That's about you feeling better, not about me. She wiped her eyes. I need you to know I'm not a bad person. That I didn't mean to hurt you. That's about you, not me. So we just never talk again? That's it? That's up to you. But I'm not giving you closure. I'm not giving you absolution so you can move on feeling better. You made choices. They had consequences. You lost something. That's how it works. You've changed. No, I just stopped accepting disrespect. She stood there another minute, then nodded slowly. Okay, I guess that's it then. I'll go. Safe flight back. She walked to the elevator, looked back once, stepped inside. Doors closed. I went back inside. Fiona was making eggs at the stove. You good? Yeah. I poured coffee. I'm good. She walked over, kissed me. I know. We ate breakfast together. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I deleted it without reading, blocked it. 3 months later, I proposed to Fiona at the cliffs of Moher. She said yes before I finished asking. We're getting married in Galway next spring. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.